So another important point that relates to this topic of idolatry, valuing people and things more than God, is this. We are idolatrous in our dependence, or where we place our confidence. We are idolatrous in our dependence, or put differently, where we place our confidence. So Van, would you read Isaiah chapter 42, verse 17?
They will be turned back and utterly ashamed, those who trust in an idol and say to a cast image, "You are our gods."
So Van, before I ask you a question, what I find significant from this passage is that we have this tendency, humans have a tendency to trust in people and things more than God himself. Now, we might not turn to specific people and specific things and say, "You are a God and I will worship you," but our hearts certainly reflect that dependence, reflects that confidence in those people and things, more so than in God himself. So, Van, my question to you is whether it was before you became a Christian or even now since you have become a Christian, what are one or more areas of your life where you're tempted to have ultimate confidence either in yourself or in other people and things?
If there was one area in my life where I had more self-confidence versus confidence in God, it would probably be in my social skills. I trusted in that to provide, essentially, for me to get to where I felt I needed to go.
So Van, when you're thinking about expressing too much confidence in your social skills, I think that that's something that we all do to one extent or another. We wake up in the morning and we just, knowingly or not, we just do a mental check about the resources upon which we can draw to get us through the day and then to help us into the future. And we can ultimately either trust in God and the resources that he is going to bring into our lives, the strength, the guidance, the wisdom, or what we can do is we can start looking at things like how we look in the mirror and how strong we are physically. I was caught in that bondage for many years as a teenager and then into college playing football, where I wanted my ultimate confidence to be in my athletic skills and my body. But I think that we're all tempted to do things like that, whether it's depending on our bank accounts or depending upon our education, or as you said, your social skills. I know that in my life and in other people's lives, it can be tempting to stare at the mirror and be overly enamored with the way that we look or don't look. And I think that that just expresses this tendency to depend upon ourselves ultimately, as opposed to depending upon God himself.